I'm gonna give you the best exercise that's the king of athletic muscle, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, so athletic muscle, let's think about it. If we look at it through the lens of what's gonna make us more athletic, we have to do something typically where we're a little bit more unstable, typically something that's gonna transfer over to helping us have a large amount of speed. So we have to train our quads, we have to train our glutes, we have to focus on that good drive phase if we're talking about speed and acceleration. Think about if we're cutting. And then finally, we have to have some semblance of a load. We have to have some ability to produce a larger amount of force in that position that's typically a little bit more unstable. And that is going to take us to a unilateral leg lift. So a unilateral leg lift is going to be in an unstable situation. It's going to put the athlete in an unstable situation while they have a load on their back. And what exercise is that? That's going to be the barbell step up. Now, for starters, I recommend about a 14 to 18 inch box. This is about 18 to 20 inches. I've got longer legs. That's okay. Most athletes have very similar tibia lengths, okay? So that's where we've got to be for most athletes. Even athletes who are 6'4", 6'5", they're gonna have very similar tibia lengths to someone who's 6'1", 6 feet tall, someone like myself. So keep that in mind. The box height will not vary drastically between specific ranges. So what I like to focus on is about 30% of my drive is gonna come from my back leg. Almost 70% is coming from my front leg. I wanna focus on driving from my quads, driving from my glutes. Our glutes are the strongest muscle in our entire body. It's our biggest muscle. It's the driver, it's the engine, okay? When we're doing step-ups, we have seen through all data that step-ups target the glutes more than any other exercise. Now, they didn't study the Bulgarian split squat or what we refer to as a single leg squat, so there's some debate around that. But they have studied back squats, front squats, and hip thrusts. Hip thrusts do not pair in comparison to a step up. So the main focus now is that because we know we're working on quads, glutes, a little bit of hamstrings, but also stability in our trunk, we wanna know now how do we execute this. If we're a little bit weaker, we don't wanna start with a barbell. We wanna start body weight and focus on a big drive, okay? One of the other factors here is we wanna see that knee come past the toe slightly, and we wanna see full extension all the way through this knee, up, down, okay? One common error that a lot of athletes will make is they'll go here. There's two things going on there. Either they're not recruiting from their quad as well as they possibly can, or two, they have too much weight on the bar. So take weight off and execute it properly. So after we drive all the way up here, we wanna go down under control. Let's say 1, 2, down, okay? A lot of athletes will also go plop, and that can put a little bit of stress on their lower back. What I like to think about if we're even warming up for this, I'll show this from the side, is if we're doing almost a partial range of motion pistol squat here, right? We can really start to wake up those quads, glutes on the eccentric, and we wanna just barely touch our heel. Our toes don't touch. If our toes don't touch, then we're not gonna be able to plantar flex and drive too much from that down leg. Okay, so we wanna think here, nice and controlled, eccentric, and I'm just warming up, okay? Driving from the glute, driving from the quads, full extension in my knee, then I come back down, I'm under control. Now we're gonna show you how to do that with a barbell. All right, so when we're using a barbell, I like to have the squat rack facing the boxes that we're going to. And here again, we use 3 boxes. You can use one sturdy box. I would prefer it be a metal box. These boxes are bomb-proof, so they're great, okay? Now, I like to have this open so I can unrack, go 1, 2, I'm on the box. All right, so now I'm on the box here and I wanna have that foot, that back foot should be about 8 inches from the box. If you're a little bit shorter, probably about 6 inches. If you're a little bit taller, probably about 10 at the most. You wanna have that in position here, and I like to do at least one set with just an empty bar, focusing on that full drive back up. Slow eccentric, again, 1, 2 on the eccentric, drive back up, 1, 2, drive back up. Now, what's interesting is you can start to see with athletes, and this is where the athletic muscle comes into play, you can see with athletes, one side will waver more over the other, and you'll even start to see the individual push and sort of shift. They're trying to shift to target muscles that are already strong enough in their chain. If they're not shifting, they're probably pretty stable and they're structurally balanced. So you can pay attention to that. It teaches you where's their imbalance, where's their weakness, Okay, drive back up, and it helps you advance their structural integrity while training their strength. One more. Boom. Walk this back in, and ideally, you'll have someone who's a little bit more mobile than me, have those squat stands a little bit wider. That's gonna help you walk back in nice and safely, have a spotter. It's really easy to rack this barbell down. Okay, so the application is you can go once a week where you're gonna push a little bit heavy. Let's say we do 5 sets of 4 on each leg. When we're doing unilateral stuff, I'd say keep the reps under 6 on each leg because there is a large amount of time under tension. Some athletes might have their hands fall asleep. They'll complain about that more so than the actual exercise, so just keep that in mind. 5 sets of 6 on each leg is perfectly fine. Have them rest for a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then they can come in and they can do the contrast method, do explosive jump step ups. After they walk through that 2 minutes of rest period, now they can do those jump step ups and really focus on being as explosive and reactive as possible. If you need help with your reactive ability, you wanna be more explosive, head over to peakstrength.app. You can get 10 free days of access to our app today, which is gonna help you become a better athlete. Until next time, freaks, if you wanna become a champion, you always have to cultivate your power. Peace.